Oh my God, I have 2 people joining. I'm on here testing equipment, y'all. Oh my goodness. Hey, y'all. So Damion, guess what? I went to a speed dating networking event tonight. It was real cute. It was real cute. Of course, it was maybe 6 guys and 20 women. But I thought about it. It was unique because you only had a chance to what's going on, Derek? We only had a chance to talk to talk for 2 minutes. But I thought it was very unique in that they had canned questions. Them questions were so. Why are you laughing? Why you have to put that many laughing faces? You know what? See, the devil is a liar. Okay. No, you did not. You couldn't have just put one laughing face. Okay, you had to put a whole line. You don't do speed dating. That was my first time ever trying it out. I received that invitation and I was like, girl, it's gonna be a gazillion, okay, a gazillion women and 3 men. Okay, that was my joke, but it was really cute. It was a kind of a D9 sponsor thing. So it was like, Divine 9, they had an event. So, they had this I can't stand you. Why you keep putting 2 rows of laughing faces? Yes, I went to a speed dating event tonight. I'm single. I cannot meet anybody sitting in the house. Okay, I just can't. And I thought, well, let me just go just to see what it was about. So I said, if we had more, Jay, you supposed to be going to bed. Y'all got to go to sleep. That's why y'all late for school in the morning. But anyway, so no, it was unique to see it. You said, Mama, it was so unique to see it. Yes, in the senior buildings. Do the seniors be dating? Do they be dating? But anyway. So they had a canned list of questions, right? And it was nice, but none of us was really looking at the sheet to answer the questions because you had 2 minutes for each station. And so it literally was, random questions. Hi, what's your name? What organization you a part of? Okay, tell me something about yourself. And you know me, I'm super animated. So I'm in there like, first of all, let me congratulate you for coming out here. Okay, so that was my biggest thing. You coming out here, that takes a lot of courage for you to come out and do this like speed thing or whatever. But it was unique. And I'm like, you know what? They need to have more activities like that outside. I hate to say it like this, but outside of the church setup, because when you do that, everybody's like on defensive a little bit. Everybody like, trying to be perfect, whatever. But, and be fake. I got to whisper that like somebody else is on this live. But anyway, what's going on? Clarence, where you been? Huh? We got to give our updates on the shows now. Where's the updates? So anyway, the speed dating event, it was really, really nice. I think it was 7 men that I went through. So let me tell y'all how hilarious this is. And I know my daughter is not on here. So, they sit seated at different tables. So you got to go every 2 minutes and you talk to someone. So, I'm talking, hey, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah. You said the seniors do? The seniors have the highest STD, STI rates in any race? You mean senior citizens? You kidding me? The senior citizens? The senior citizens getting action? Lord, am I that sad? Am I that? Anyway. So, what was interesting, so you go to different tables, you're talking to them, blah, blah, blah. So, one of the young men, I knew he was the baby as soon as I sat down, right? So, he talking, he's excited, he's like, tell me about yourself, and I'm asking him some questions. He's like, you could just ask me, blah, blah, blah. So, he finished, and so, did you say the seniors are banging the senior citizens? The senior citizens? cannot wait. I cannot wait. Wait a minute. Damien, you said the senior citizens be humping in the senior citizens place. See, that's why, you know what? Is this a comedy bit? I need to go see you do your comedy show because I'm sitting here. You said wrinkle thumping. You said the senior citizens have the highest STI and STD rate demographic. So are you saying where you work, the senior citizens have a problem with having unprotected relations and they passing diseases? I'm through. I can't. See, I was on here just trying to test this equipment and I'm like, yeah, you see that baby hair. But wait a minute. Now, you know, I was always known for the baby hair. You know, it's a thing now. Everybody wearing baby hair. You know, I was wearing baby hair in the 90s and everybody was talking about me like, your hair always got that baby swoop to the side. But, yes, I am still wearing this natural curly. You should look at my picture. I had on a wig the other day. It was like a wig piece. I called it Diana Ross, okay? It was hilarious. I came in that dang on gala. I was laughing so bad. I was like, I love you all. I love you all. Everybody was like, it looked cute though. But anyway, you know, my daughter was like, Mommy, you look so pretty. Let's take some pictures. But anyway, let's go back to this because I am curious. Okay, so you have to put in the chat. For those who are just joining this live, I am actually testing equipment. And see, damn, you keep putting these stats. I'm testing some equipment. And so while I'm testing this equipment, I am, you know, it's a Q&A. So whatever y'all want to ask me, we share about, we can do that. So Damien, who's a really, really great friend of mine, okay, he's also naturally very, very funny, but he is being serious right now. Tonight, I started off saying I went to a speed dating networking event. It was really nice. I thought it was a great idea. I wish, you know, more, I want to say more men, because of course, you know, it was more women to men. But they were seated, the men at different tables, and we had like, you know, a list of questions. You go and you ask questions, but you only had 2 minutes to connect. So it was like talking super, super fast. So y'all know I like to talk. So I was just letting them talk a little bit, you know. But it was interesting because, you know, I'm letting some of the guys talk. I'm like, I could be your mama, okay? But nevertheless, a few of them, I was like, they asked you on the sheet, is it a match? I said, no, not a match for me, but it might be a match for my daughter, you know. But anyway, so they were giggling. Because one of the young men was like, I'm 29 years old. And I was like, yes, baby, you 29 years old. Okay, my oldest child is 31. Okay. And so he said, well, my last girlfriend was in her 40s. And I said, she was trying to get money from you, baby. I mean, it was like, so one man, I sat down and talked to him. He said, are you a teacher? I guess he was like, because I was asking, like, he said, you asked a really good question, Cougar Mama. No, thank you. No, thank you. I was like, no. But it was a young man there who was 23 years old. And he said his aunt told him to come because, you know, he doesn't get out the house and he needs to meet new people. This is a great networking opportunity, you know, for him to meet women. And he was like, you know, I'm glad I came because, you know, he's like, it may not be a love match, but I can get to, you know, expand my network. I said, exactly, young man. Think about that for the future, you know. But I thought, you know, let me say this. I've signed up for dating apps. Have I met people? I've not really met people. You know, unless people know me in real life, I don't know what it is. People don't, you know. But even in real life, people don't really, I don't know. I don't know what it is. You know, I think it's just a different day and age. You know, people don't value companionship and friendship like they do, like genuine, sincere companionship, friendship. They literally want to live on the internet. That's how I see it, right? And I always say, for me, okay, for those who know me personally, I'm even more incredible in person, okay? The internet is the internet, right? And so I think that a lot of times people don't think of like how fraudulent social media is, right? Because you are posting your best photo. So for example, the photos that I just posted, it sparked a lot of interest in people of me Saturday night with the gold dress on. We took probably about 30 pictures, okay, to get the right shot. I'm like, this. Okay, Papa, do I turn like this? Do I look up? Like, we took so many pictures to get the shot, Okay. But when people see like social media, you said, would I date a white man? I got a funny story about that. I need to do a story time. Okay. I said I'm going to get back active like on YouTube and do story time. So the answer is dun, 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 dun. Yes. I would not discriminate. And let me tell you why. Because I feel like I'm open. I'm open. I'm open to whomever God has for me and who's going to love me. But I have to be attracted to them. That's all I'm saying. So I have to be attracted. But my very, very first ever in life boyfriend. Okay. This is a story time. I knew you was going to say something. That's why I said da 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 da. In life, ever was a Caucasian man. Yes, my seventh grade boyfriend was a Caucasian man. His name was Ian. Ian was on the wrestling team. Ian was so nice. Ian used to carry my books. I was like, oh my goodness, he used to tell me how pretty I was. Pretty, right? So let me tell y'all. Okay. Ian loved everything about me until one day, like, listen, one day, Ian's parents came to the wrestling match and they met me. And the look they had in their face, like, this is the Paulina you have been talking about. This is the Paulina you've been talking about. And after that, Ian and I broke up because his parents told him he could not date a black girl. Okay. Crushed my little 7th grade mind, right? But let me tell you this, okay? Ian knew what he liked. Okay, I'm just telling y'all, Ian knew what he liked. Because Ian and I are still connected, okay? This is when I lived in Colorado. For those who don't know, I lived parts of my life, my childhood in Gary, Indiana, and Colorado Springs. His wife right now is extremely beautiful. She is way darker than me, and she is like a... she's a different nationality, but she is darker than me. I said, Ian been liking, and being liking a little. So that was an Ian as a little boy in 7th grade. He looked into school, and at that time, oh my God, the junior high my sister and I were at, it was only 3 black girls in there. Me, my older sister Tiffany, and another girl named Mary. The entire school, okay? The entire school. So out of all them girls, he saw me and was like, she is the one. I like Paulina. So Ian is happily married to a woman even browner than me. Okay. For those that's hating. Talking about you ain't brown. But anyway. So yeah. So you said in the 7th grade, there were no men in the 7th grade unless you were in those sports special classes. Yes, they were, guys. Yes. You're so silly. You know, I've always been like a brainiac. So I've always been in special classes. But anyway. So yeah, so guys, I'm on here testing equipment, sharing my little story tonight of me going to speed networking, dating. Okay, what qualities am I looking for in a man? Number 1, somebody who is transparent. That's important because transparency helps you grow through situations. Okay, so that's important. And I feel like transparency lends itself to honesty. You know, people talk about, I want